Hello, hello, everybody. I'm super excited for you to join us this evening. We've got a treat for you. I have Dr. Melody Rodarte here, and we started this LifeVantage journey several years ago, and it is something that absolutely changed every aspect of my family's life, from health to financial things and just ability to live life on our terms. And one of the things that I got so excited about initially was having medical professionals like Dr. Melody on board with us to explain the science, explain the technology, explain what we have our hands on, because this is something you won't see anywhere else. So Dr. Melody, she is a double board certified internist and obesity medicine specialist in Arizona. Listen to this, you guys. She's been named Phoenix Top Doctors in 2017, 2019, and 2021. She obtained her doctorate degree from Midwestern University in 2002. She's also certified in hyperbaric medicine, wound care, medical aesthetics. She absolutely loves personalized medicine and equipping her patients with tools to stay healthy, as well as getting to the root causes of illnesses. We know her family very well. She's been married to her husband, Tony, for 22 years, and they have twins that are 18. They love to travel, serve the world, the community. And I love this aspect that she was able to help retire her husband, Tony, in 2018 after 20 years in law enforcement, and they started a nonprofit together. So without further ado, I want to turn the time over to our good friend, Dr. Melody Rodarte.
Thank you so much, Shawn. It's so exciting. Our first time that we presented together in 17 was just a hoot. And I just look forward to this because I have so much respect for you in how to talk about this company, because this is my first rodeo, and just getting to team up with you is exciting. So hopefully those of you who are on tonight will just get to really enjoy learning some science geeky stuff from me, and then also getting to hear about an incredible company and the products on here from Shawn. And so yes, I'm a physician here in the Phoenix area. I was blessed to start my own practice just literally 2 years ago, right before the pandemic. And that's because I love keeping people healthy and out of the doctor's office. And I figured that I needed to be on my own in order to do it my own way. And I have had an entrepreneurial spirit from the beginning, and I didn't even know I had it. It's just, I always thought, what can I do a little bit different, and have been able to dig a few wells before we needed to drink from them. And I'm blessed that I've been able to do that. I wanted to be a physician since I was 5 years old. And my mom has things that I wrote about, back then in kindergarten. And my goal has always been to keep people healthy and out of the doctor's office. And just about 2 months ago, I was at a conference. And so this is one of the best quotes that I've ever heard. And some of you have heard me say it. I'm going to say it here to open things up, because if you're on this webinar and this quote does not touch you, I'm going to be honest, it might not be the webinar for you. And this is the quote: "The purest form of medicine is prevention and lifestyle." Okay, I'm going to say it again. The purest form of medicine is prevention and lifestyle. Did you hear me say medicine as in like a drug? It's not where we want to go to first. So if you're on tonight wanting to know how to slow down the aging process and how to have a lifestyle to keep you healthy, this is the webinar for you. Okay. And I am so blessed to bring you some of the information that I have been so passionate about sharing now for 7 years. So I'm going to rewind to 7 years ago. And at that time, I was looking for something for my son who has an autoimmune condition. And my mom had now beat breast cancer twice. And I'm thinking to myself, what can I be doing for my family? One, how am I going to move forward and try to prevent disease further in my family lineage? And two, what am I going to do to help my son out? Because I'm thinking, I don't want to put him on more Western medicine. Yeah, I'm a DO, but I had already been doing wound care and everything else. And what I was doing was not slowing down his process fast enough for me. And my colleague wanted me to hear what you're going to hear part of tonight. And I am very blessed that he reached out through his wife to tell me about this. So let's get started. As you can tell, I love to talk, and I will keep this short, but I want you to just hear the passion that we have for what we have our hands on, because unfortunately, your physician is most likely not going to tell you about some of these pathways, because it takes time for new things to be discussed, to become mainstream. And so being on this webinar tonight, you're going to hear about things that your healthcare team might not have heard of yet. And how exciting that you can bring this to them and go, what do you think about this? And they most likely will be like, I think I need to incorporate this into my life. So let's get started here. I'll share my screen. And so I've kind of just got first, a disclosure. I'm sure Shawn will have a disclosure that he will throw up here. We like to do things in an orderly fashion. And so I'll throw this up there. And I'll also say that I do sit on the scientific advisory board for the company. I feel that it is a privilege. This is my 4th year doing it. And it's because I absolutely love to teach and train, and I get to reach so many more people by being a part of this company and a part of this board. So hopefully you guys feel the same about me as I teach. So let's talk about a couple terms. I'm all about education. So what is nutrigenomics? It's nutrition working through cell signaling to turn genes on. So some of you might have thought that the genes that you are born with, you are stuck with. You cannot do anything about them. And I'm here to tell you that you can. Up to 95% of your genes, you have the capability of whether or not they are expressed. Yes, you heard that right. Only 3 to 5% are kind of stuck. And we aren't sure how to get them to express themselves correctly. But over 95%, you have that gift of how those genes are going to be turned on or off as you live and through your healthy lifestyle. So it can be through nutrition, it can be through cell signaling, and it can be through gene activation. And that's really what I want to hit hard tonight on, is gene activation, because you might not have heard about activating your genes prior to this webinar. And so what is the key thing that can slow down or hurt gene activation? It's going to be a term called oxidative stress. And oxidative stress might not be a term you've heard of probably up until about 2 years ago, but you probably then started hearing about it with us trying to stay healthy. Is those who had more oxidative stress in their life were more likely to get an infection. And so oxidative stress is the wear and tear that's happening inside of each of our cells. And the more of it that happens, the worse off we are. And so the food we eat, the water we drink, the exposures that we are exposed to, all of these can cause oxidative stress. That is the problem. No matter if you're 2 years old or 80 years old, whether you're a mammal, whether you're an innate object, oxidative stress bothers you as well. Think of, I live in Phoenix. Those monsoons that they like to rust our beautiful pool equipment and everything. So it happens, oxidative stress. So what happens in our body when it's uncontrolled is what you can see here on the left. And so as it affects the cell, that cell makes up a tissue, and the tissue makes up an organ and makes up our body. And depending on how that gene is expressed, for you and for me, might look like any of these problems that you're going to see on the left-hand side. So every part of the body can be affected by uncontrolled oxidative stress. This is what caught my eye when I was introduced to this back 7 years ago, because I understood oxidative stress. When I was doing wound care, that was really important. How can I reduce oxidative stress in those patients? And I was putting a meal plan together for them. We were doing hyperbaric oxygen. We were doing, all types of things. But I would hit a wall. And so it was incredible when I was able to see what potentially I could do to reduce their oxidative stress. So this is what was introduced to me, an ABC Primetime Investigative Report. And I am going to show a snip of this because it is so important. It's where the story started. And you might be thinking, okay, she's going to push play. She's going to watch an ABC Primetime, and it was aired in 2005. And I'm going to tell you, yes, because that's where it started. Like I said in the beginning, it takes 5, 10, 15 years for something in the medical field to become adopted, to become something that we really, really get and we start to use. Unfortunately, we are very slow turtles when it comes to adopting new things. And so I do want to show this to you. It's where the story starts for this company and for this product. And this is what caught my eye. And so I want you to listen to it, how I was introduced. So I'm going to push play. There's about 6 minutes of an ABC primetime. Who doesn't love listening to John Quinones? And we'll catch the story once that ends.
The following is an ABC Primetime Investigative Report that aired in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Dr. McCord, okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Can you scoop? Yeah, there we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. So the result, oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells. But as we get older, some of those toxic radicals overwhelm our enzymes and wreak their havoc. For a long time, scientists thought that antioxidant vitamins like C and E would lower it, but they don't.
As it's turned out in just the last 5 years or so, we see that they're not good enough tools. They're not powerful enough.
But this pill, he says, is powerful enough. In fact, many times more powerful.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment.
Doesn't taste bad.
It's called Protandim and tests on both mice and humans. have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Whether that will lead to longer life is still unknown. Experiments to see if mice live longer are about to get underway, but it's a tantalizing theory.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down. And so you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
Back to the oxidative stress levels of a child? It sounds too good to be true. Will Protandim work on me?
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result, my level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would.
And so ancient Eastern healing and modern Western medicine may soon be working together. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks,
Even mental disease,
yes,
depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression. But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. And I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. But because it's being sold as a nutritional supplement and not a drug, Protandim does not need FDA approval for safety.
So once I saw that, I had to go to a site called pubmed.gov because I thought this is too good to be true, that his oxidative stress level reduced. And this is where whenever a patient of mine would bring me a supplement to look at, I would go to pubmed.gov and I would type in the supplement's name, and lo and behold, there would never be enough, third-party validated journal articles for me to read. Well, 7 years ago, when I went home and I typed in Protandim, there were 16 peer-reviewed articles for me to look at, and my jaw dropped. Tonight, after this, if you do that, there are going to be 31 peer-reviewed journal articles that you can look through. And why are the numbers coming in still? Because of that ABC primetime. You can see the universities listed there on the bottom. They called Dr. McCord in this company and said, can we use your product in our research? That's incredible. And that is why it's taken so long to get peer review after peer review journal article, because it takes time to do these. For those of you who are in medicine, you understand that. Those of you who are not, you're thinking, gosh, why can't it just, be in 3 months? Unfortunately, it's not. But how incredible is that you can go onto PubMed and type in Protandim and look at all of these papers. And so because of this, also, it was featured in many TV ads and print ads. And what's incredible is the sheer amount of patents, both US patents and international patents on this product. So let's dive into this product a little bit more. So I talked about oxidative stress and how it can hurt a cell. And so what we're trying to do through this pathway, this NRF2 pathway, some people say NERF, NRF2 pathway, is it is allowing the cell to release its own antioxidant production. And when that happens, you're lowering oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days and up to 70% with over 120 days of use. You are increasing 3 antioxidants that we have hopefully all heard of now: superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione. Glutathione is the master antioxidant in our body that we need. We want to support our body's natural ability to repair, and we also need a good detoxification process when we are undergoing illnesses or with the environment we're under. We need an incredible detoxification pathway. So what is Protandim? It's 5 key ingredients to make up the NRF2 pathway or activate the NRF2 pathway: milk thistle, bacopa, ashwagandha, green tea, and turmeric. And some of you might be taking some of these in some type of blend. But the neat part is they were able to put this blend together that did what no other blend could do. And that's what you're seeing on the right side, the very first line: reducing oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. There are 2 little symbols that you're going to see next to that bottle. BSCG is Banned Substance Control Group. So elite athletes can take this and not worry about doping. The NSF is a third party that comes in and looks at a product, and it will say whether or not what is inside the bottle is on the label. It's an incredible third party validation for this, because remember, you want to know that what is inside the bottle is on the label. And just the process that we go through with production is also something to be shared and evaluated. So what am I talking about when I'm thinking about the body can make its own antioxidants versus taking antioxidants? So yes, remember, I am an obesity medicine specialist. I'm going to tell you, eat your broccoli, have a healthy diet. That is important, because that is in one way nutrition for our bodies. But the limitation here is it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's neutralizing 1 free radical at a time, and it's 1 and done. And so you can't eat enough to do what activating the NRF2 pathway does, where it's neutralizing 1 million free radicals every second. And so there's the difference between supplementation and activation. We want to keep nutrition healthy. That's a must. But what if we could also activate this pathway in our body and decrease free radical damage? And so that's what you're seeing there on the right-hand side. This is a great slide for a visual. Another slide that I love is, I have a lot of people are like, wait a minute, I'm taking these ingredients. Am I, helping my body out? And I'm going to say yes. But the neat part about Protandim NRF2 Synergizer is you can see on the right-hand side, you're getting an 18-fold increase in the expression of the antioxidant genes. So would you rather take 5 pills where you're trying to figure out, is this the right combination? Or would you rather take it as Protandim, where there's, 7 patents in the US on this, and all of those studies by the branded name, this branded activator. And so that's why I like this slide. And this is what Washington State University is saying about the NRF2 pathway. It's potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. So that's where you can continue to hear my passion. I tell people you will have to pry this out of my dead hands, because now that I know a pathway in my body that can help with as a therapy and a prevention, it's just something I will continue to talk about. And if you go back to that first, quote that I was telling you about, the purest form of medicine is through lifestyle and prevention. So that's why I will continue. Hopefully you can see that today. So let's kind of put that on the back burner for just a slight minute. And I'm going to talk about a few other ways that we need to help ourselves to slow down the aging process. And the second is through helping our mitochondria. So our mitochondria are important for energy production. You might go back to your biology in 7th grade and you drew a circle with a squiggly line and said, hey, this makes energy, ATP. Well, it's so much more than that. It is actually very important in protecting our chromosomes and how they are expressed. And so we need what's called mitochondrial biogenesis and healthy mitochondria in order to slow down that aging process as well. So this is another blend of key ingredients, and some of you again might be taking some of these. Think of the time we're living right now. Everybody wants to know how to help their health. And so there's acetylcarnitine, there's quercetin, there's grape skin seed extract, there's alpha lipoic acid, and then there's coenzyme CoQ10. These are incredible ingredients, but again, this blend put together is helping increase cellular ATP production as well as supporting chromosomal integrity. We actually didn't even know this was going to happen, and then it did. It improves with sleep quality and cellular repair. Think about it. When you're fast asleep, that's when repair happens. So we need really good sleep for this to happen. And then we also want to support cognitive and brain health, support healthy circulatory and cardiovascular system. So this is called Protandim NRF1 Synergizer. So this just kind of, the slide summarizes it up again. And what I like is the last line on there, slow cellular aging by supporting chromosomal integrity. Okay. And so let's put that onto the side, and I'm going to just do one more Protandim because it's one more pathway that we want to talk about with slowing down that aging process and biohacking our health. And so this is the NAD pathway. And many of us have now heard about it in the last 2 years, where we didn't really hear about it before unless you were maybe an athlete or you went to anti-aging conferences and you learned about NAD. Well, our NAD helps our sirtuins, and our sirtuins are pretty much the CEO of the cell. If you want to just kind of think of simplifying it, you can kind of just think of it that way, and then know what the benefits are. Again, supporting healthy longevity, supporting mental focus and concentration, a positive mood and motivation. Who doesn't need that right now, right? Supporting the body's healthy inflammatory response. You might not have heard that before, but we need a little bit of inflammation to happen so that our body can see signals of where they need to go and put time and energy into function. And the problem is when it's not matched and they can't put the fire out. So we want to have support a healthy type of inflammatory process. We don't want it to go unmatched where then there's just a total inflammation. So this pathway helps that. We want to maintain cholesterol levels already in a healthy range. Again, I love talking to people. Cholesterol is not all bad. We need healthy cholesterol to make hormones. I mean, think about how important our hormones are in our body. And then we want to support a healthy vascular system as well. So the three of these put together is called Protandim Tri-Synergizer. And what we're doing here is helping our genes express themselves, activate in order to have an incredible story to tell. So on the bottom, what you're going to see is the gene that is turned on, if you want to think of it that way. Okay. And in the gray, you're looking at one product by itself. When you look at the blue line, you're seeing the synergy of using these products together. And who doesn't like synergy? It's like that one of that first slides. 1 + 1 is not 2. 1 + 1 is more. And what we're seeing is incredible results by putting this together and putting these blends together here. And so you can see at the bottom each of those genes and how they are expressed. So let's summarize these parts together. Protandim NRF2 is is activating and helping the oxidative stress theory of aging. And that is helping antioxidant defenses and detoxification processes. NRF1 is helping the mitochondrial theory of aging. We want mitochondrial biogenesis. That's helpful with the way the mitochondria function. And then the NAD synergizer is helping sirtuin activity. And we need those sirtuins as well for healthy longevity. So this is together called Protandim Tri Synergizer, the Protandim NRF2, NRF1, and NAD. So what I want to take a minute here and just kind of let you know is we have a family of products where the majority of them have taken this incredible NRF2 pathway and put it into other products like a skincare system, a hair care system, a body care system. And then what we've also done is created other products that help us overall slow down that aging process. So what I want to do is take a quick peek at just a few of my favorites and talk about how we stack them together, because a lot of times people will say, where do I start? And I love to tell them there are several ways to get started depending on how you want to feel better and what you need to do more of in your life. So we like to specifically put stacks together. So one of the ones that I love to add to a stack is called Axio. How many of us want to reach for caffeine in the morning, or we're working out and we want a pre-workout or a post-workout drink? Well, I will tell you, I've never done an energy drink in my life, but when I saw this, I was hands-on and wanted to try it. It's NRF2 brain food, which is incredible. So the pine bark in here is an NRF2 activator. So we're helping enhance neurotransmitter function and the brain's resilience to stress. Who doesn't need that right now? It's got activated B vitamins. Again, who doesn't need activated B vitamins in their life? Quercetin, DMAE, L-theanine. Have you heard of some of these products in the last 2 years? Well, it's in a little packet that you can throw in your purse, you can throw in your pocket, and you can rip it open, throw it in some water, and it's incredible. One is caffeinated, another one is decaf. There's about 5 flavors of caffeinated and 2 decaf. Incredible options, and it's clean, low calorie, low carb, and it even has that seal, BSCG seal of approval on this. The next product is our Daily Wellness. Okay, you guys, who is not taking CD3 zinc right now, right? And you're always like, how much do I take? Where do I buy it from? Well, what we did with Daily Wellness is we put it together with elderberry and whole fermented yeast. And if you have not heard of whole fermented yeast, what I want you to do is you've got to look it up today, because it's incredible. The history behind it is so incredible. It's a postbiotic shown to support healthy immune response in over a dozen clinical studies. You can go on PubMed, you can type in Epicor, you can read all about it. So exciting to do that. This is meant for daily use. This is not meant to, like some of the other products where you start to get a sore throat or you start to get the sniffles and you're pounding it in. This is something to help for a daily immune support here, or immune defenses. And I love this because it tastes great too. The other thing is fish oil. How many of you have brain fog and you're just like, okay, they told me I need to take an omega, and you're like, oh my gosh, they taste like fish. I can't get it down. They're disgusting. If it tastes like fish, it's oxidized. It is not a healthy omega product. It should not taste like fish. And so it doesn't also need all the different omegas that are out there. You need omega-3. That is what we need in our life. And omega-7 is also important for those who are wanting weight management and improving our metabolism. And so you want to look for a product that has a traceable boat to bottle. And our product does. It also even has a little bit of vitamin D in there as well. So I love that product. The next is, all of us are on these Zooms and these webinars. Our eyes are getting tired. Our children are on, all of these types of iPads, and I can't even think of the word I want to use right now, but we need something to help protect their eyes from blue lights. And what I love is we have something that's called Icy Bright that has an omega, has zeaxanthin, has lutein. You guys, again, you can go onto PubMed and read about these and how it can help reduce eye fatigue and help our vision and brain complex. Think about that. Our vision is telling our brain second to second to second with what is going on. So I'm going to just show you how we can put these stacks together, right? NRF2, probio, and then prebiotic. That's called our essential stack for gut health. see how we can kind of build upon these. So I'm going to just touch on two of them. This is one of my favorites right now because so many people have an upset GI system. Their microbiome is not happy. Probiotics help digest our food, absorb our nutrients. Our immune system, 70% of our immune system starts in our gut. So we need to support our gut with probiotics here. And then a prebiotic, those feed our probiotics. So a prebiotic helps with us feeling full, helps our tight junctions stay nice and tight alongside our probiotic. So things aren't getting in from the gut into the bloodstream that aren't supposed to. There's a better communication there. So this is what I love about this. We're reducing oxidative stress and we're helping our microbiome. And then another one is we're talking about immune health here. And so again, we've got an NRF2, we have a probiotic. What if we threw in that daily wellness in there as well? So this is the type of thing that we can get together with you as you're watching this and you're like, where do I start? We can put this and help you get together with where you're at in your health journey. I'm going to kind of just stop my share right now because I can go on and on about how to put these stacks together, but hopefully you've been able to kind of think about how do I move forward with having a healthy lifestyle with products that are not a medication, right? I'm not sticking a Band-Aid on something. I'm trying to promote health inside your body here. And this is why it really spoke to me and why I'm excited for you to hear from Shawn next is because I wanted to know how I could share this with my friends, my colleagues in my practice. And I didn't know how to do that because I was used to a traditional business and having things on my shelf and someone coming in to see me. But this is completely different. And I have been blessed by learning about this. So I'm going to switch it over to Shawn. He teaches me every day that we get to talk. And he'll blow your socks off too.
Oh, I appreciate that, Dr. Melody. Let's give it up for her. I want to see in the comment section, you guys learning stuff because every time I listen to her, I'm catching on new things. And that's one of the things I love about the LifeVantage family is we're just surrounded by such amazing people, such different skill sets. And you just heard from one of the top doctors around on how we can improve our health strategy. My background is not in the health fields. I came out of graduate school, still not knowing really what I wanted to do. I had kept collecting degrees because I didn't know what I wanted to do, but then I eventually decided I better stop collecting debt and get out and work. And so I got my security licenses with Wells Fargo. When our oldest daughter was born, my wife, Michelle, started to have some issues. And we went from doctor to doctor trying to figure out what was wrong with her. And as great as Western medicine is, there's still a lot of stuff that we don't understand. And so we could rule out a lot of what it wasn't, but we couldn't rule in what it was. And that was hard. You know, as a husband, you want to be able to fix your wife or at least pinpoint how we can get her on a journey just to better health. And we had been going through this for a long time. We eventually moved to South Dakota because we didn't know how long my wife was going to be around and we wanted to be around family. And so a lot of the people that we knew, they didn't understand how sick Michelle was, but we were on this journey of health and improving health. A friend of ours who's actually on here tonight, Nikki, she came to us and she said, you've got to check this ABC primetime video out, you guys. I know that you're into health. I know that you're into helping other people. And little did she know how big of an impact that would have on our lives. I'm happy to report today, although we still don't know what was going on inside of her body, we don't deal with the same things that we did back then. And then for me, I was climbing the corporate ladder. I don't know how many of you guys can relate to this, but in my house growing up, it was kind of like, okay, you graduate high school, you go to college to get a better job. If you want a better job than that, you go to graduate school, and then you become an employee and you work your way up. And it's not like it used to be, you guys. Back in the day, you could work 30, 40 years for the same company, and then they would take care of you in your golden years, right? Well, is that the retirement world that is happening right now? I would contend absolutely not, and it's disappearing quicker than ever before. And I want to talk a little bit about the business side, but I also want you to understand I'm very cognizant that the business side isn't for everybody, but we're just here to educate you so you can make the best choice for you. I think it's an absolute no-brainer when you start to hear Dr. Melody and the other medical professionals, or you're reading the science, that it's a no-brainer. You're going to integrate these products into your health strategy. It's really just a matter of which ones are you going to do it with and how are you going to do it. Is it going to be as a consumer of the products? Or maybe you're already thinking of other people that need to hear this information as well too. And you might take advantage of being a distributor and sharing the information, plugging people into our systems as well. I think right now we've had some major things change the world, right? Can we all agree with that? The last couple of years, things that we used to think were safe and secure and would be around forever have really been flipped on their head, and people have a new understanding of where we're transforming as far as, I think, communities and just society in general. I will also contend all day long that people are wanting to be more proactive with their health and not reactive, trying to deal with things when problems have already arisen. But when people are trying to deal with things, let me ask you this: are they looking for natural ways to do it, or are they wanting to do it with synthetics and drugs? Well, I think more and more we're gravitating towards natural approaches to improve our health. And so all these trends, I think, are happening in the marketplace. And I just want to show you this slide real quick. It's called an S curve, because what I've seen over and over in business, you guys, is simply this. If you can get ahead of the average person knowing about information before the average person knows about it, it sets you up to be able to take advantage of that in the marketplace. And that's absolutely what we have our hands on, because I can guarantee you, listening to this, that you now know probably more than 99% of medical professionals out there more about these pathways than they do. But the reality is, I think in 5 to 10 years from now, it's not going to be a question of if people are upregulating and downregulating their genes. It's going to be, what are you utilizing to do it? And we've got a huge head start, as you heard, from as early as 2003, science backing what we have our hands on. So I'm excited where this is going to go. And I always like in the business world to give you kind of stories or examples based off of other things that we're really familiar with to understand what I talk about when we're talking about this S curve or growth or momentum. If you think about the iPhone, you guys, everybody around knows what the iPhone is. You would really have to be living under a rock not to have heard about the iPhone. But if you think about when you heard about it, it varies from person to person. There's very few people that were around and utilizing that technology for the iPhone 1. Even the iPhone 2 and the iPhone 3, you guys, that was still around the innovator in the early adopter phase. iPhones didn't take off, and smartphone technology didn't really take off until around the iPhone 4 years into that technology being into the marketplace. And then you saw this rapid momentum, this rapid growth curve going up and up and up as we went from the 4 to the 5 to the 6 to 7. Now we're well into this, 12 years into Apple iPhone technology. And it has to start to stabilize because the average person knew about it. It went through that growth, and now it's common in the marketplace to have that technology. And that's the exact same thing that we're talking about when you're looking at NRF2 or NRF1, NAD. And to me, again, when you understand what they're talking about, you're going to integrate this. And what really blew me away was how could all of this help with so many different things? And so as I listened to the different doctors express, the ideas and the knowledge behind it, me and my finance brain, here's what I finally came to understand. It isn't the miracle of what's in the bottles, it's the miracle of what's inside of our bodies. And it's allowing the body to work like it used to, work as it did when we were young. And none of us can stop the aging process, but we can definitely do things to enhance our quality of life and the speed at which we're aging. And so I love when we talk about the S curve, the opportunity for somebody to take advantage of this knowledge before the average person and share it with other people. The other thing that I didn't understand when we came into network marketing was that you could make money doing it. Our joke, Michelle and I's, was that if we were successful network marketers, we'd go get a bottle of wine and a red box movie and celebrate that we got a $20 check. Well, the reality is that people can make part-time money doing this, supplemental income, full-time, and there's life-changing money involved in this as well too. What I have on the screen right now is the income disclosure statement for our company that shows the different ranks in the company going from Pro 1 to Pro 10. I want you to look at that third column though, because that's the important part of this. It shows what the average monthly commissions are at each one of those ranks. Let's take Pro 3, for example, where it's just under $600 a month. How many
Shawn,
people do you know right now?
your slides aren't showing.
Oh, they're not showing at all?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, we will try this again here with that. Is that showing now?
No.
All right. Let me exit out of it and put this back up. Thank you, Melody. Is that going now?
I cannot see them.
All right.
I know I hit quit share on my end.
Okay. Let me just take over as host completely. See if that helps. All right. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the income disclosure, and it's that third column again that I want you guys to just see. At the Pro 3 level, just under $600 a month. And what I've seen, especially over the course of the last couple of years, is people that are yearning and praying for something else to change. They want something different. They want something that could potentially replace what they're currently doing, or just to go in addition to what they're currently doing. And if you look at the ranks of like Pro 4, Pro 5, $1,400, $3,000 a month, you guys, that's starting to be supplemental income for people that can really, really change what they're doing on a monthly basis on the financial side of things. And then there is the potential to replace what you're doing and start to earn full-time money. I think somewhere in the ranks between Pro 5, 6, 7, that would replace 80% of US households' full-time income. When you look at the rank of Pro 6, $6,700 a month. And I think we have another thing that's happening when I talked about, the workplace changing, where it isn't 30 or 40 years anymore with the same company, that retirement has changed a lot as well. Because if we don't have pensions and people haven't saved enough in retirement into stocks, mutual funds, whatever it is, 401ks, they have a couple choices when they come up to retirement age: is live off of less money or continue to work, at least part-time, to offset the money that they don't have to live the same lifestyle that they're accustomed to while they're working. And so you can see here that there's all sorts of different income levels that somebody could achieve doing this business. And that to me really, really blew me away, because I didn't understand this profession or this business model. But I'll tell you this, I've come to realize when this is done right with the right people, the right products, it's one of the most extraordinary ways to do business. There's two different business packs that you can get involved with. One of them's $300, one of them's $999. The difference between the two is how much product it comes with and how much discount that you're actually getting on the products that came in. When Michelle and I, when we first started this, you guys, we got those business packs just for the simple fact that we wanted to see how these products would interact with us. And we knew we were going to take them for the rest of our life. Michelle's biological dad had died from heart disease in his early 40s. And that was super important to us to integrate something that could help with heart health. And we knew that when we saw this information, and there was science by the American Heart Association published in their premier cardiology journal, we knew that this was something we were going to continue to take. And again, I know that the business side isn't for everybody, but I want you to ask yourself this question: what if? What if this was something that you could share with other people, impact their life, both on the health side, the financial side, personal development side, and you could bless people, but at the same time, earn some secondary income from that? And that's where I get excited for this, because I think the opportunity today is bigger than ever. Think about what has changed in the marketplace even prior to COVID happening. You look at like Toys R Us. In 2018, you guys, Toys R Us went bankrupt. Well, I can tell you this, we didn't sell less toys in the world in 2018, but the biggest company that sold toys went out of business. How is that possible? There's been a shift in how people acquire goods, right? And the biggest shift in that has been direct to consumer sales. And if you think about the biggest player out there in the marketplace, who is it? They're putting people out of business all the time. It's Amazon. But what is Amazon? Amazon, you guys, is simply a bunch of distribution centers that take product and ship them directly from the distribution center to your house. And they're getting faster and faster and faster at doing it. But that's what network marketing really is, you guys. We're educating people in our niches in nutrigenomics and health. And we're taking products and shipping them directly to the consumer. And that's what I love about this, because back when that ABC video aired, it sat on the shelves of GNC and CVS and Rite Aid, but nobody knew what it was. The bottle back then said clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress. Well, even in 2022, most people don't know what that is. It has a story to be told, like Dr. Melody just did for you guys. And again, I think it's a no-brainer. You're going to integrate these products into your health strategy. It's just, how are you going to do it? As a consumer, getting one of those stacks and helping your health out? Or do you want to share this and bless other people with this? And the cool things about network marketing in this business model is you don't do this alone. Like you can see tonight, we had over 100 people that were joining us on this call to hear the information. And they plug into a system that we know is proven to work to help people get this information into the hands of their loved ones, their friends and their family. Thank the person that introduced this to you, because this can change your life. And what I want you to know too is that if you decide to do this on the business side of things, you definitely don't do it alone, right? We have a whole host of ways that we get paid, but the whole key to all of this is that together, raising the LifeVantage brand together, we know has a synergistic effect, just like the ingredients of those products. The more that we work together, the more that we can educate people, the faster that this becomes known by the average person. And so when you plug into the system, you don't have to have any kind of area of expertise, prior experience in network marketing or nutraceuticals. You can be like my wife, Michelle, and I, plug in with no network marketing experience, no knowledge about nutraceuticals, but work with people who are experts in those areas and learn as you earn. That's the beautiful component of this. Is it just takes a burning desire for something different in your life, being coachable and having a good work ethic. That's honestly what I think it takes. And I think, again, more than ever before, any point in history that I've studied or seen, people are really yearning for something different, something to change. And if it isn't you, I promise you have friends or family going to bed tonight praying for something to change. And it might be on the health side of things. It might be on the financial side of things. There's a lot of families out there struggling in both of those aspects. And that's what we're here to do, is to give people an opportunity to raise their hand and say, is it my turn? And we would love to bring you on board to teach you what we do and just plug you into the systems that we have. Unlike traditional business, you guys, me and Michelle, we've done a lot of different businesses. And when you own your own business, do you really own the business, or does the business own you? For most small business owners, the business starts to own you. But with this, we take care of all of the back end things on the corporate side of the company, and it allows you to do the things that most entrepreneurs love to do. You don't have to worry about collecting the taxes on the products and all of that stuff. You don't have to worry about being the distribution center or acquiring the products. It's educating people and seeing what they want, answering their questions and helping them become a better person. So I get so excited, and we're so grateful for this opportunity that we have, and we're just getting started. This company is on the NASDAQ, you guys. I love the fact that we have a legacy program that goes out and does nonprofit work in every single community that we touch. The key to me, though, is just the people. Like, I have never been around so many like-minded people that just have a passion for helping others. And that more than anything else, I'm so grateful that my kids have had the opportunity to grow up around the people in this business that we do life with. And that's what we want for you guys. We want you to live the life that you dream to live, but not waiting a decade or 2 decades to do it. Let's ramp that up and let's do it in 2 to 5 years and travel the world together and just impact people along the way. I'm telling you guys, the world's never going to be the same, but we can make it into a positive change by helping other people. And so more than anything else, I really appreciate your time tonight, Dr. Melody, for educating people on what we have our hands on, because it is so special. I ask everybody that's on here as a guest to get back with the person that introduced this to you and tell them what you're thinking. Do you want to get started as a consumer of the products? They can help you figure out what stack would be best suited for you. Or do you have people that you want to share and get people onto calls like this where we can help educate them and you can do the business side with us? Or if you have questions, let us know what those questions are. And I'll contend all day long. We can point you to the science, and PubMed.gov will give you a lot better information than a blogger on the internet. So just let us know what those questions are so we can direct you to the information to answer your questions. And we're open books about this. We'd love the opportunity to answer your questions. So when you get back with the person that introduced this to us or to you, we'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have for this. So again, I want to thank Dr. Melody Rodarte for taking the time tonight. It's always a blessing to get to do this business with you. We appreciate you. And thank you guys so much for taking time tonight to hear from us. Appreciate you.
Thanks you guys so much. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.